Hello, everyone in podcast land. I'm David.
I'm Jono.
And this is the podcast where nothing is prepared and everything jumps from my shoes, through my overalls, through my hat, right to your ear holes. It's the Let's Wing It podcast.
To be honest.
Yes. Because you're usually not honest? Damn, dude.
Well, I'm never
lying.
honest. I always lie.
I call you lying Jono.
I am a liar. Actually, we kind of did prepare for this one because we saw this movie last night and then we could have recorded right away. And I did prepare thoughts. And I'll be honest.
Traitor.
Shut up.
I have notes too.
I know you have notes too. I'll be honest. I think we recorded it last night. And if we had another recording for today, you would see two different opinions.
Damn, dude.
Yes.
I'm curious to see what this journey.
I'm very conflicted.
And that journey is the journey we had when we watched the Super Mario Brothers movie.
It's me, Jono.
It's me.
But
Luigi. Yeah, we went to the theater last night.
Yeah.
We watched the movie. We have thoughts.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you those thoughts after we tell you about our sponsor. Nobody.
Well,
Your mother.
Let's just say Elgato.
Elgato.
You know, they make us sound fantastic.
It means cat in Spanish.
Yeah. Really?
Gato means, yeah. I don't know, but I don't think it's actually what I'm not sure what Elgato stands for.
Because they would have had a cat as a logo.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Yeah. So, but, Elgato made us sound really good. Because full disclosure, this is my last in-studio podcast.
No, it's going to be so much more difficult to do these.
But I also like to thank our Patreon supporters. We have 13 of you drumettes.
Thank you, drumettes.
Thank you guys so much. I would shout out all your names, but I forgot to screen print it before I left. So I'm so sorry. And also the Patreon app is total trash because I click on the patrons and it only showed the last 5. So it's like, well, that's not fair. I'm not going to shout out these 5 because there's 13 of you and blah, blah, blah. But thank you. But
I'm not too worried. I think you know who you are. We appreciate you.
Oh, also, just because this is the public one, if you do sign up for the patreon.com/Let's Wing It, there are exclusive now warm-ups that Dave and I talk about. We talk about really random things, not even about the podcast because we want to save that.
We basically just sit down, we hit the record button. Sometimes it's bullshitty.
I
don't edit them at all. I just cut them start to end.
So it's fine. It's good. I like it. It warms up the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
what's Jono? What did you think about the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Do you want me to tell you what I feel now or what I felt right after?
Tell me what you felt right after. Tell me the journey you took and then tell me what you feel now. And give me a score at the various parts.
Okay, so yesterday, right after the movie, I would have given it a 4 out of 10.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I would have given it a 4 out of 10. Yeah.
You're like every other critic.
Yes. Well,
this ain't cinema.
It's not cinema. But there was a lot of things going good for it.
Mm-hmm.
The visuals are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Characters were decent.
Mm-hmm.
Voices were okay. It didn't really bother me too much. Actually, Seth Rogen actually bothered me more than Chris Pratt.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Pratt, I'm like, it's fine. And the story was very weak, in my opinion. And as I would have liked more in the pacing. The pacing is god awful. So that being said, now I kind of had a chance to ruminate.
Yeah,
think about it.
Smoked a bunch of weed.
No,
down some E.
No, I did some heroin. No,
smoked from my opium pipe.
Yeah. What's that supposed to mean?
Dude, I love opium.
Opium. No. So now thinking about it, I actually would give it a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, because here, without getting too deep in it, because we have to eat some wings.
Yes.
Eat some nuggets. When you actually think about when you play the video games, it's the same level of story. And the character depth, there is no character depth.
Yeah, there's no character.
So, I mean, it's a 7 out of 10 because I'm not like lore specific Mario, but I know who everyone is.
Yeah.
At least 80% of them.
Yep.
So, yeah, it went from 4 to 7 out of 10.
That's a pretty big journey.
Yeah.
I did not go on quite such a illustrious journey as you.
Yeah.
I actually wrote something close to a slogan. It came out of my fingers, and I was like, I guess it's kind of a slogan.
It's they're just movies.
They're just movies.
Like reflex.
We use the real-time Carpal critics.
Yeah.
Lifted by its splendid audio and visual presentation, the Mario Brothers movie provides abundant fan service to bolster its limited plot and lightly developed characters. I think I was going to end more, but as you know, I think that the audiovisual presentation of this movie is fucking awesome. Yeah. And as a fan of the games, if you have, nostalgic feelings towards Mario and the music and the world, you're going to find a lot of joy in this movie. Yeah. If you're looking for, cinema, no, it's not there. There's very little plot. You can tell the plot was such an afterthought. They clearly had set pieces in mind. They're like, okay, we need a Mario Kart level. We need a Super Smash Bros. Level. Yeah. We need, okay. And man, you can tell there was a lot of passion that went into this movie. Yeah. Like the world design, the soundtrack is fucking amazing.
It's so good.
And it's like constant little nuggets, these little cues from games you recognize. And you're like, oh, that's Mario 3. Oh, that's the Mario 64 castle tune. Yeah. And I found great joy watching this movie. I enjoyed it throughout. Yeah. There's definitely moments where you're like, oh, wow, they really didn't know how to fucking close this movie out. Yeah. But my score overall is probably a 6. Which... So on my scale, the Carpool Critics scale, 0 to 5 is I wasn't enjoying myself. So 5 is the threshold, and then 5 above is like the good stuff. Yeah, and I enjoyed it. Even like when we go back to the real world and we're like, this is stupid and dumb. Yeah, I still was having a good time.
You remember, like it was still like people were still applauding and cheering at the end of the movie, and then I remember that one kid in the movie was still happy. He was like cosplaying as Mario. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Because I had to like stop thinking about it. Because cinema is a garbage movie.
Yeah, it's like you can tell there's like no integration to what the character arcs are to the plot, to the general happens of the movie. Yeah. And like you think about, okay, Mario, he's set up, he just wants like to get approval from his dad. That's like, his need at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. And then that's like not ever talked about until like the last minute of the movie. And then his dad shows up because like, the things happen. And he's like, good job, Mario. And you're like, that was not part of this movie at fucking all.
Because it started off him getting approval from dad and trying to prove to himself. Yeah. Granted, I guess in a way, there was parts like, I want to feel big. I feel so small.
Yeah, but I think there's a really generous reading of this movie where you're like, oh no, it's kind of all there.
Yeah, because to me, those 3 moments that kind of pulled me into the movie. Oh. So it's the beginning where there's gonna be spoilers in the movie.
Well, we already were.
Yeah, we already ruined it. But I mean, you can't really ruin this movie because it's like, oh, they succeed.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, and this is the ugly stepchild of They're Just Movies, so it's a spoiler podcast.
Who gives a shit? So the beginning is him, Mario, going to his room, playing video games, and just kind of having that moment with Luigi. That was kind of nice. Actually, there's 4 moments. There's a moment where it's like Luigi was getting bullied by that kid and Mario saves him.
Yeah, baby nice. Mario, baby Luigi.
Yeah, that was really
Although
cool.
I have a major problem with that scene.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it later.
The third one was pretty much this is the critical one that was like, oh, thank God he slowed it down, but it felt so good. When Mario was getting the shit kicked out of him by Bowser and getting thrown to the pizza place. Yeah. And then him seeing that commercial and just like trying to muster that courage to do it. Yeah. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I surprisingly felt stuff during this movie. Yeah. Like there was moments where I was like, I wasn't like moved to tears, but I was like, if 0 is, feeling nothing and 10 is crying, I was moved, by the gentle breeze of a cool autumn day towards a 1 of emotion.
Yeah. Well,
which was surprising. I was expecting to feel negative emotion the entire time. Yeah. But I was like, oh, I'm kind of feeling this. Yeah. Okay. Let's start at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. So it starts in the real world in Brooklyn, New York.
It is the Brooklyn, New York, but it is, if I was going to go for a video game that relates to it, it is Mario Odyssey real world. Yeah. Because you see obviously Carmen. She's literally that was interesting. She's the mayor, I think?
Yeah, she's the mayor of New York. Yeah. Which is interesting because in Odyssey it's New Donk City, right? It's not New York.
I have no idea.
I think it's New Donk City. Yeah. But I didn't mind it at the beginning of the movie in the way that I thought I would. Movie starts with the first trailer they showed, which is, Bowser attacking the Penguin Kingdom. Yeah. And then goes into the second clip they showed, which was the Mario rap, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, it's actually longer than the trailer.
Yeah, slightly longer.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that. And then the movie does the movie jumps right into the arcade. It's a pizzeria I'd love to go to. People just leave their tables with full pizzas. Makes me very mad.
No, I would. Well, I mean, my brain at that moment was like, okay, Easter egg. I got to look up at Easter eggs.
Oh, there's Easter eggs everywhere.
Yeah, there's Easter eggs everywhere.
The first one I noticed was, so there's a guy playing Donkey Kong in the corner, which is Mario's first appearance. But it's, Jumpman, which is Mario's original name.
Yeah.
And it's a guy, and he sounds, like the real Mario. And I looked it up, and that's Charles Martinet, and that's the real Mario.
Oh no, does he play that one?
So he plays that voice, and that's why that's the guy who's like, "It's me." Yeah, and he does like the full-on Mario voice, and I thought that was a nice little touch right at the beginning.
No, but he also plays Mario's dad,
Charles Martinet too.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Really, so because he goes, "Mamma mia."
Okay, but yeah, so Jumpman is the first one, and then there's like the bully guy, Spike, and he's a real character from Wrecking Crew, which is the game that like Wreck-It Ralph is sort of based off.
I've never played it.
It's an arcade game from before our time.
Yeah, because I'm like, that
clearly he's something.
Something, yeah. Because it's like he makes a really big entrance.
Yeah,
and I thought he would be in it more, but he's not.
And like that's another. Just you can tell they were trying to tie things together, but they had no way to integrate him tightly into the plot, and so he's there at the beginning and he's there at the end.
Good job, Mario.
Yeah, good job.
No, good job, Luigi.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
And so then they get their first. The Mario rap is their real world plumbing service commercial.
Yeah.
And it's a great commercial for what clearly is not great.
Yeah.
Because they go to their first client, who's this beautiful apartment in Brooklyn, multi-million-dollar apartment.
Yeah. But the apartment suspiciously looked like a castle.
Yeah.
Which was like, because it's like that blocky modern architecture that kind of pops out in some places.
And so basically everything goes wrong because, Luigi pissed off the dog.
Yeah.
And what should have been just an easy repair, which they first do, becomes a full house destruction.
I do like how they actually showed that they are plumbers. Mm-hmm. They actually know what they're doing.
Well, Mario does.
Yeah.
Luigi's useless.
Well, Luigi's there for support, but he does technically he does fuck up.
Yeah. Well, so that was my first alarm bell for the movie.
Yeah.
Because up to then I was like, I'm into this. This is fun.
Yeah, because I
fucking hate scenes where you're like, what's gonna go wrong? Oh, everything's gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just like stressful and it's not fun and like it's not clever how everything fucks up. I really liked the setup with the dog. Luigi accidentally steps on the dog's bone. Yeah. The dog hates him. The way that dog is animated is fucking hilarious.
It's something about that. It's like whoever they assigned that dog animation scene was just like on next level. He's like, okay. He was like the guy who's like, okay, I'm not gonna animate Mario. Fuck you. I'm gonna do this dog better. Because without this dog, made the movie to a point.
Well, yeah, that first scene would have been so painful if it wasn't for that dog.
The dog's looking like most other the character dog. Let's just say the character dog. It's like when that shower is filling with water, you see most cases other dogs would freak out. The dog's like, I got this.
Well, they trap him in the shower. He can't get out.
Yeah.
But then because of the doohickeys they've done, the water starts to fill up, so the dog gets to go over the shower door.
And he knows.
And the look he gives, incredible. And even just how he walks in with his broken bone, stares them down. The payoff with that dog, somehow, that dog is the star of the movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that scene at all, but the dog did get good jokes. I mean, things go wrong. They go home and they got to face their family, and their family's like, "Oh, you guys are such jokes." And his dad's like, "Oh, why don't you get a real job?"
No. His dad's like, "Why did you quit your real job?
Why'd you quit your real job?"
Granted, I'm like,
live your dreams of being a plumber. What?
No, he wants to be big. But the one thing I was wondering, I'm like, so what was your real job?
He was probably a plumber for another business.
Maybe, maybe. That's one thing. I just kept being confused of
what is the real job?
What is your end goal?
He was a chief financial officer.
He's a finance bro.
I just want to be a plumber, Dad.
I just want to shift poo and make a lot of. Granted, he'll probably make more money when you think about it.
Well, depends. Yeah.
Yeah. Granted, he did the the one thing, like for me, because I was watching as a business sense, he's like, we spent all life savings on this commercial. I'm like,
yeah, really? Well, they might not have much life savings.
No, granted, I would think that he'd be more rich in the super, well, whatever, the Mushroom Kingdom or whatever it is.
I mean, well, yeah, you can just hit a thing and pull out coins.
Yeah, and the one thing
money is not real.
Yeah, we'll get to that part. I was confused. But the one thing I love, because I'm based on this part. He's like, "Oh, I hate mushrooms." I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, Mario." Yes, because I hate mushrooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I mean, I love mushrooms, but they go home, they're all defeated, and then they play Kid Icarus on their NES.
Yeah.
And then you see on the news that there's a huge water leak.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, and so they see a plumber's been called in, but they're not going to the right spot. So Mario's like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
So he goes into the sewer and he sees like the pressure release valve that it's supposed to be, and then he fucks up and he ruins the whole fucking world.
Yeah, I mean,
with no consequences. Well, so he's trying to release the pressure valve. So he breaks it off.
He breaks it off because he was impatient and couldn't figure out a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the weird thing is that once he breaks off and they fall, and then he smashes into a wall, which, if I'm going to try to make it realistic, these guys are like needs a hospital. Like these guys are dead. But they find like a whole new section. So they automatically just forget the big problem that they were originally trying to tackle.
That they made worse.
Yeah, made worse because
they're not an issue anymore. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like, oh, where is this? Yep. And then they go down and they get sucked off into Mario.
They get sucked off.
They get sucked off.
But that's, to me, the good times kind of resume pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like they're going down the stairs. There's a little sign for like level 1, 2.
Is there?
Yeah, which is like, and then like the underground theme plays.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, and then you see all the pipes and stuff, and then Luigi looks in this pipe and gets sucked in, and then Mario goes in and gets sucked off too. And then you're into the Magic Kingdom, and then you're into trailer number 3.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, which is just like him arriving in the world, which is fine. He gets to go to the world. You get a little exploration of what the Mushroom Kingdom looks like, and then you see the castle on the horizon.
I'll be honest. I think, just speaking of the trailers, if you combine all the trailers of all the unique footage that they showed, they probably showed at least 1/9 of that movie.
Yeah, because like they showed different scenes, and like the penguin scene is slightly extended in the movie compared to the trailer.
Yeah,
but like just slightly.
It's just like if you watch the trailer, that's 1-to-1.
It's almost 1-to-1. There's like a couple extra shots in there, and then the ending is extended to kind of give you the point.
Yeah,
and the point is good. Bowser is the best in this movie.
Bowser's the best. I originally liked Donkey Kong.
Interesting.
But then I realized that, it's not Seth Rogen playing Donkey Kong. It's Donkey Kong playing Seth Rogen. Because you know why?
Wow.
Because those parts where Seth Rogen does his trademark laugh going,
well, they do that. They do it on purpose, too. They draw attention to it. Yeah. Mario gets shrunk to mini size, and then it's just a close-up of giant Donkey Kong. Be like,
no, there's one part when he like blows up on the Mario Kart, like he destroys it, and Mario gets into the cart doing tag team.
Yep.
And you just see Donkey going, you're like, that's just Seth Rogen. Like, it's not Donkey Kong.
I agree. Yeah. That's not Donkey Kong, but it didn't bother me too much.
Yeah, to me in my head, I'm like, Seth Rogen.
And we've been going scene by scene, but let's go a little broadly. Yeah. What did you think of the voices in the movie?
So
we can kind of work our way through the characters. So the big one, which was, the one everyone made fun of, Mario. What did you think of Chris Pratt's performance as Mario?
He's fine.
I thought he was fine too. Yeah. I was of the side of like, he's been in too many movies. Yeah. I know his voice too much. Yeah. I'm kind of annoyed. I didn't think he was the right fit.
Yeah, he did change his voice. Like he would put Italian accents to my knowledge of Italian, which is nothing.
Or like Brooklyn.
Yeah. So like you can hear it going, like Mamma Mia. It's a me.
Yeah, I thought throughout it was good.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was distracting. There was a couple times, he does the affectations. Like when he gets punched by Donkey Kong and he's like, it's a me. And it's like full on Mario, but it's because he's dazed. It kind of works. Yeah. But then there was other times where I was really pissed off by it. Like when he does this backflip in slow motion over the giant bullet bill and he's like, Mamma Mia. I was like, fuck you. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. I think I had like a 360 eye roll at that point.
But I think it's just like to a point where for like a financier, right? I think it was a good, safe bet. Because people who love Chris Pratt, and there's a lot of people who do love Chris Pratt. Like I'm used to be in the camp of like, yeah, he's great in everything. But now I'm kind of getting tired, just like my emotions to Marvel movies, except for the next coming one, Guardians of the Galaxy.
We'll talk about that.
But I think it's fine. Like he did. I think it's going to be hard for whoever was going to step in to play Mario to be Mario, unless it's Charles.
I think they'll get him again.
Yeah.
I think this movie's going to make $1 billion.
This is going to be a sequel. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. They already mildly set up. We'll get there, but I think that he'll be back. He'll get his $30 million to show up for a week of recording.
No, I think hopefully enough they can hopefully enough pull a Sonic and then just get him out and then get someone else. But I think honestly,
who did they do that with Sonic?
No, they just like they pull the Sonic and like get them to change like the movie visuals or something. But anyways,
I don't think they'll do that.
I think overall I'm happy with it. Yeah.
I expected to be distracted.
Yeah.
And I very quickly bought into the illusion of just that's Mario. That's fine.
So that's Mario.
What about Luigi?
Luigi, yeah. I actually liked it.
I really liked the Luigi. I think Charlie Day was a good cast. That was one of the ones, like honestly, when they did the cast announcement at that Nintendo Direct, I was pumped about everyone except for Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
But yeah, Charlie Day seemed like a perfect cast, but he doesn't have a ton to do in the movie.
He has like maybe like 6 sentences.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised. And he's another, I think, sufferer of, they give him, a theoretical arc, but they don't do anything in the middle. They kind of give you a start and an end of his arc. His arc is like, he wants to be self-reliant, and like be useful.
Yeah.
And then
he wants to help out Mario.
Yeah, but he never has to do anything. He's always a liability until the
end.
Absolute end. But he hasn't done anything to earn. He just, is there with his sewer shield.
Like, it just felt like those. It's not even a super shield. It's
a sewer shield.
Sewer
manhole
shield
cover.
It's just like, those like the problem is like there was so much stuff in the movie. It's like they could have. It's like it felt like the D&D movie, right? Oh, what D&D did is that they acknowledged that the lore is there, but they didn't really have to like do too much. They didn't overstuff the movie too much with it, and you are still naturally interested in it. Because here's the one thing too is that if you haven't played a Mario game, like a Super Mario game, this movie you would not know what the fuck is going on.
Well, and I think that was a big criticism of this movie going in.
Yeah.
And we should talk about it. Like on Rotten Tomatoes, this movie is still like 50-ish% critics and above 90 audience rating.
Yeah.
And I think it's because, critics are judging it on its merits as a movie, as cinema.
Yeah.
And fans are just enjoying it for the fan service that it is.
Yeah.
And it is consistent, good, enjoyable fan service.
Yeah.
But then the movie suffers when you really examine its structure, its narrative, its characters.
There's no fucking structure to
There's
this
nothing.
movie.
It's literally exists to get you from level to level.
Yeah, because it's literally like, it felt like I was like, oh, this is a movie if a ex-Mr. Beast editor edited this.
Totally.
And he just went cut. Or like a TikTok, swipe. So, I mean, does that. But anyways, I want to go back to the voices. So,
then we have Princess Peach.
Princess Peach is fun.
Yeah, I thought she was good. Yeah. I think her voice works well. I don't hear Anya Taylor-Joy. Like, she's not like Charlie Day where I'm like, holy shit, that's Charlie Day. It's like
I didn't well, like at first I was like, is that Charlie Day? And I was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah. But her, she's just kind of she embodied Princess Peach fine.
Yeah.
I like that they make her such a badass, and I really enjoy that they went out of their way to not make her a damsel in distress even in the end. Like, she holds her own really well late game.
Well, here's the thing too, right? This is how I was thinking about it last night, is that this movie didn't even need the Mario Brothers at all. You can literally just not have them in the movie and Princess Peach would have just be fine.
Yes. Yeah. And do you know who else they could have gotten rid of and the movie would have been exactly the same? Every single Kong.
God, that was just a fuck.
This movie is just fucking. It's funny because it's so cut down, but it's so bloated with things that aren't necessary.
It needed like 20 minutes more,
and it needed early on a very rude editor to come in and drastically change what they were focusing on in the story, because they're everywhere. Like, I love that they go to the Kong Kingdom. I love that Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong, Diddy Kong, they're all in this. It's fucking awesome.
Which Kong was the one at the beginning? I don't know who that was.
I don't know who that is. It might be like a new...
He's like a cool Kong.
Cool Kong.
Yeah.
He's not funky.
Yeah.
Because Funky has a bandana and glasses, but...
he's not lanky.
No. But, like, it was... When you kind of take a step back and you're like, okay, you know, there's this whole section of the movie. They go to the Kong Kingdom. For the whole purpose is to get the Kong army to fight Bowser.
Yeah.
All right. They're in their carts. Oh, they're all captured. Okay. Oh, now they have to save them. So we spent 15 minutes of this movie getting the Kong army that will just become a liability. Like, it literally accomplished nothing.
The only thing that he got was having Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And that's like, pretty much
it. But like, that's such a weak...
And then they're like trying to go like, oh, Donkey Kong hates Mario, which is true. Yeah. In lore fashion, Donkey Kong hates Mario because Donkey Kong steals not Peach. I think it's like
Rosalie. No, not Rosalina.
Is it Rosalie? No, maybe it might be Rosalie.
No, it's not Princess. It's just like
it's not Peach.
Paulina. No, is it Paulina?
Maybe something with P. But so they do hate them, and they kind of like try to make them friends.
Yeah, they do like the buddy cop thing where they hate each other and then they're kind of forced
like,
to.
Oh, you're trying to also impress your dad?
Martha!
Wow.
Martha!
Oh, no! This is
that's the first thing I thought. That's super unfair to this movie. That's not at all what it is, but my brain definitely was like, Martha!
Batman versus Superman.
I enjoyed the Donkey Kong stuff.
Yeah.
I think they were, it's just, you know, a result of we're focused on concepts and fan service, not the movie.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
And I liked the Smash Bros stuff. I thought that was fun.
The Smash Bros stuff was good, but actually, let's just go back to the voices. So we got Peach, Toad, Keegan
Michael Key.
Doesn't even sound like him at all. So they must have like did a lot of like voice.
A really aggressive pitch up.
Yeah. So it's fine. I think he's great.
Yep.
His character, I like Toad being like the brave Toad because it makes sense. Because like anytime you see Toad, he's always like the weird one out of the whole group because he's sticking with Mario. He's best friends with Mario and he like supports him. And all the other ones are like just freaked out and just like literally lemmings. And so I think he did a good job.
I enjoyed him. I felt him he was probably the character I felt the most during his line deliveries of like, I don't care. I'm going to stick with you. Like I was like, oh yeah, Toad, you do that.
Yeah.
I actually felt engaged with
his
bravery.
He's like, I'm here to protect you.
Yeah. And I enjoyed that.
And shout out for fan service. Do you know about the pan?
The pan?
Yeah, like Toad brings out the frying pan, the cast iron pan.
No, what is the reference?
It's Peach's super most powerful weapon in Super Mario RPG.
Was that her ultimate?
His ultimate weapon. Her ultimate, it's a pan that you can go boop, boop.
Oh, yeah,
you can slap. So I was like, yeah. I was really happy, but I was like, I hope I'm just not stretching. Yeah, but it makes sense.
Yeah, even it's funny. There's a couple Smash Bros things like when Donkey Kong uppercuts Mario. It's almost exactly the same, but the way Mario flies, I was like, this is just straight up Smash Bros.
Yeah, granted, I was like in my head, I'm like counting damage. I'm like, that Donkey Kong, you're at 60%. You're fine.
Yeah,
and like Mario is like 199.
Yeah, you don't even need a smash attack for him to go flying.
So so Toad is great.
We talked Fred. We'll talk about kind of side characters before we get to the big ones. Fred Armisen played Cranky Kong.
Yeah,
and I did not know that. I assumed that it was the same person that played Turbo in Wreck-It Ralph because it's almost the same voice.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, it's Turbo, but that's Alan Tudyk, and this is Fred Armisen.
Yeah,
they were fine.
Yeah, I think to me the problem is that like the ones I'm saying fine, is because I think they pull it off, but when I feel like voices and everything, because I'm more in the animation, is that I need them to pull off like really tough and dramatic moments. And there's nothing tough or dramatic except for like 3 moments, and that's it.
Well, it's tough because the movie doesn't really give them opportunity to explore that side of the characters.
Just one. There's like literally 1.5 moments.
And so...
And even then, those moments are not even talking.
Yeah, we can't expect those performances, to invent emotional moments, unfortunately.
So just like matching tonality and what I expected.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, we briefly talked about Seth Rogen too.
Yeah.
I agree. I think he was the one that most made me aware it was Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Like everyone else, I was like, oh, that's Peach, that's Mario.
They're literally trying to like modify the voice a little bit.
Yeah, and you're like, no, that's just fucking Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen's like,
and I didn't mind it. I thought it was a fun character, and there's good stuff that happens there. But that was probably the voice that took me out of it the most.
Yeah.
Other than that,
and then we already said does Bowser's is like Jack Black.
11 out of 10.
Yeah, he's like
he's
best.
The star of the show.
Peaches.
Yeah, I was so glad. So early on, the plot of the movie is Bowser wants to marry Peach, and so he
has the hots for Peach.
Yeah, he steals the superstar to make it that he has basically unlimited power and is going to intimidate her into marrying him.
No, I thought it was like to impress her at first.
I think it's part impress,
and then I think the backup plan. Yeah,
you're right. And I knew that Jack Black was a good hire. I knew that
I didn't know he was like Bowser.
Oh, really? That was one of the ones I was like, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
And he brought so much energy, so much dynamicism. But he brings like the threat too. Like when he's attacking the Penguin Kingdom, he's intense. He's dark.
Yeah.
But then he plays Goofy and he sings his song twice.
Yeah,
and it's a great fucking song.
And I think that's a great song. And also like him pulling off all the deliveries. Like here's the thing. Bowser has the most acting out of the whole bunch.
Easily.
Because like you see him being, like you said, super aggressive. Also being really vulnerable. Because he's like, oh, I really love Peach. And you're like, whoa, I didn't like. And it made me like think about him like, oh wait, Odyssey. He was trying to marry Peach.
Yeah. And he wears that outfit and he looks snazzy as fuck.
Oh God, he looks so good. I'm like, dude, like Peach, I'm like, Peach, you're punching up.
Yeah, you don't deserve our boy Bowser.
Yeah, like, dude, I'd fly that way for Bowser for sure.
Although she has some pretty good outfits. When she gets the fire flower and her dress turns white with like the red.
I like the blue one. I like
the blue one is also really good.
She looks really good. Yeah, I was like really good. Like it's just like Bowser is amazing. I'm not gonna really comment on the side ones because
like Gamek and
Oh, who plays the star? That blue star.
I don't know, but I loved that.
What is that star? Is it from Galaxy?
Luma? I think that's Galaxy. Yeah. So it's like there's Rosalina, and I think it's her little buddy that also gives you little tips and shit.
Because here's the thing: it's just like full disclosure, I've never played N64, Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, and I'll tell you why. And then what's that? Sunshine Mario.
Sunshine is GameCube. Yeah, Super Mario Sunshine.
So I never owned a N64. And I never owned a GameCube, but I did unfortunately own a Wii.
It's a good console.
But here's the thing: no, it was not unfortunate. I had a Wii, but I've never bought a game for it because I just played Wii Sports.
Yeah. Oh no, you're not the only one.
I bought Wii Fit.
Oh sure.
I lost 10 pounds on Wii Fit.
That's pretty cool. I actually was looking at Ring Fit Adventure. I heard it's really good.
Really?
Yeah. You're looking at it. I am not a 10 out of 10 Mario fan, but I'm a pretty big Mario fan, especially the 2D ones. I'm bigger on the 2D ones.
I mean, who isn't?
I mean, young people.
Yeah,
they hate us. What's your favorite 2D Mario game? You get to pick
Super Mario World.
1 and 2. Yeah.
Super Mario World.
Yeah, what's 2?
2D. Probably Super Mario 3.
I feel like that's the correct answer.
Yeah.
I think Super Mario World is my favorite. Yeah. I can speedrun it. I'm at 20 minutes now. I can beat the whole game in 20 minutes. Yeah.
I just honestly love just playing that game slow for some reason.
It's so good. Well, it's fun because when I'm speedrunning it, and like 20 minutes is the like beat Bowser's castle. It's not the like beat every castle run.
Yeah. You're being all the ones that are good.
And so I sidetrack it. I go through the Star World and then I get to Bowser's castle and I beat it. But I love when I'm like, I am going to play it all the way through today. And I just go play every single level all the way through. And it's such a totally different game.
Yeah.
There's so much content. There's so many secrets. It's just like everything is jam packed.
I just love the music.
Oh, it's so good.
It's just like, yeah, like it's such a good, well-rounded game. It's like perfect. Like I could give that to my nieces and nephews and they would love it.
Well, I don't think they ever topped it. They made different games and I don't really like any of the new Super Mario Bros. Games. They're all fine, but they don't have the same charm.
Yeah.
And they have this generic art style that's so unappealing to me.
Well, I mean, here's the thing is that like Mario Odyssey,
So I'm sticking on the 2D game. So when I say new Super Mario Bros, that's just like the polygon 2D ones.
Yeah. So I think the most latest one is probably the Mario Level Maker.
Yeah, Mario Maker. And those are cool.
Yeah.
But like that doesn't really count.
Yeah. I guess like to me, like
those are awesome.
Yeah, they're really awesome. I don't think you can ever really make a 2D Mario game again.
I don't know if that's true, but maybe. And I mean, it would be more niche than making, Mario Odyssey.
Actually, what is the last other than Mario Level Maker? What was it? Was it?
It probably was new Super Mario Bros.
Is it that 4-player one?
The Luigi one. Yeah, those ones are all 4 players on the Wii.
Yeah.
And there's a Wii U one, but I think that's just a remaster.
Not too sure.
But they've been focusing on the 3D ones. My favorite is definitely, my favorite, not definitely, is Super Mario World, and my second favorite is Super Mario World 2, which is Yoshi's Island.
Super Mario 2.
That's the first Yoshi's Island. So that's like the Super Nintendo Yoshi's Island.
Which is the one oh wait. No, let me kind of go back. So Yoshi's Island, would you consider that a Super Mario game?
It's called Super Mario Bros. 2. Look, we can look it up there.
Oh my god.
Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island.
Wait.
It's the Super Nintendo box.
Oh shit! Okay, I changed my answer. Number 3 is definitely because I have fond memories playing that game.
I have so many.
Even though fucking that crying is just horrendous.
Yeah.
But it's such a good game, which I'm really disappointed they never really made a third one.
Because they made sequels, but they like moved away from it being a platformer, and it was more of like a puzzle game.
Yeah.
And they never really recaptured, I think, the spirit of that.
Nintendo is fucking terrible at that.
Well, I think they don't want to compete with themselves. So they want to have, their platforming franchise. They want to have their adventure franchise. They want to have their exploration franchise. Like, they're kind of like, they like sticking games into one category.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I just want them to, I want to expand and do more of that. And I can't. Because it's like, even Super Mario RPG was probably like, if I'm going to go with 3D Marios, that's my favorite one. Because it actually has like a really decent, good story to it.
That's a nice little trick answer. That's a good one.
So, but yeah, it's just the fact of like, it just felt like they never made a sequel to that, which is like the biggest shame. And I know if I called Linus right now, I'm like, hey, should they make a Super Mario RPG sequel? And he'd be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we should get him to fund it. He doesn't have enough money.
Just sell your Porsche.
I think it's a little more than.
No, you get some fan people to do it.
I wonder if you could. I think you could like raise a few million from fans.
Yeah.
I think it's unfortunate. That's the kind of game that you have a strong base that would kill for that game to exist, but then so many people that just don't know anything about it.
Okay, well, people are going to be arguing, because listening to this are just cringing right now, because they're like, oh, Paper Mario is
only
not
the first 2 are good.
Yeah, but Paper Mario
they're not the same.
It's not even like close to being Super Mario RPG.
The GameCube one, it's not. You're right. It's not the same.
Yeah,
the first 2 are like RPGs, and then after that, they kind of just like dropped the RPG-ness, and they just got worse and worse.
Inside Bowser or something like that.
Oh, those ones are okay. The Superstar Saga is actually pretty good. Yeah. That's the GBA and the first DS one.
Yeah,
those ones are good. But I don't even like consider them Mario games, even though they obviously are.
Yeah, I don't mind them, but it's just like I play them in the same mindset of like, this is not Super Mario RPG.
You want that
Super
with
Mario
the weird
RPG.
puppet dude.
I literally want Gino and fucking whatever the what's the fucking mushroom guy? Oh, not cloud guy again. Shit. He just cries a lot. Yeah, like that. And he just makes everything rain. I want to fight Smithy. I want to know where the fuck Smithy comes from.
Okay.
I want Mario to be like, fuck these guys, and just like go to his universe and just fuck those guys up.
Yeah, my favorite 3D one, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Not even fucking close.
Well, I mean,
like everything before Galaxy and everything after fucking sucks in comparison. Like Odyssey's so shit. I don't care what anyone says.
I can't make an argument on it because I've never played Galaxy.
Oh, you're missing out. It's the best.
I know. That's why I said I'm like the Wii. Unfortunately, I never played it because I just stuck on the Wii.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's weird because you go, oh yeah, Mario Galaxy. I think it's like 15 years old now.
At least, yeah. I think the first one's 2007 and the second one's 2009.
16 years.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I might be a little bit off.
Don't you feel weird? It's like, oh, look at this gem. It's like that meme, that comic, that really famous comic going, oh, don't you remember this gem? And you're like, that just came out a couple years ago. And you're like, oh wait,
it's been 75 years.
You're like old. But anyways, back to the movie. So we talked about the characters' voices.
I just want to say,
yeah,
fuck Mario Sunshine. All my homies hate
I've never
Mario
played
Sunshine.
It's
fine. I think that the GameCube has this weird apologist overcompensation where people say that the GameCube controller is the best controller. It's not. It's not the best controller.
It's better than N64's.
Oh yeah, and it's better than the PS2 controller.
Yeah.
Worse than the original Xbox S controller. Better than the Duke.
Yes.
But it is not the best controller of all time, it sucks.
It's not the best controller of all time.
Uncomfortable. The C-Stick sucks.
Yeah, I think it's a good Smash controller.
It's good for the games that were specifically designed for it.
Yeah,
and it sucks for any multi-platform.
Yeah, because I think the only redeeming game, which I think is the most popular, Smash edition that's played in esports.
Oh, Melee, yeah.
Melee, yeah.
That's yeah. But I mean, even all the Mario games are fine. Anything that use the C-Stick, not as an analog stick, but as just another input set of inputs.
Yeah.
It's fine. And I'm going hard on it just because for some reason in the modern day, that's that's the best controller ever. No, I'm like, y'all fucking crazy.
No, it's people who say that are just the ones who got it and loved it because that's all they had.
Yes.
And I do say, yeah, I like the form factor. The form factor was really cool. Had a little handle, which is kind of like, I could live with it, live without it. But I think what was really cool about it time is that it was pre-built for 4-player.
Yeah, but I mean, so was the N64, so was the original Xbox.
Oh, that's
so was the Dreamcast.
Was the Xbox?
It has 4 controllers.
Yeah. Oh, okay, never mind. No.
One up there.
Wait,
Dreamcast as well as 4.
Oh, never mind. No, I'll walk that one back.
Yeah. But it's funny. It's something that seems like, oh yeah, all the best consoles should have more ports. Yeah. But it seems like all the winning consoles always had less ports.
Yeah.
So NES had 2, Super Nintendo had 2, PS1 had 2, PS2 had 2.
It's the concept where it's the same thing. It's the same problem with video games today. Is that everyone really likes to play co-op and plays 4-player. Blah blah blah. Let's build a game around that. No,
nobody actually
just
ends up
lost.
doing it.
You lost. It's like every Ubisoft game that came out, I think, after Division.
Yeah.
It's like, we have to make everyone customizable. Everyone can play multiplayer, play online.
That's just live service bullshit.
Yeah,
I think there is a case for a good co-op game. They're just movies. It Takes Two won Game of the Year that year and is highly regarded because it was a novel take on the couch co-op game, and you could play it online.
Yeah, but it's not 4-player.
But and I think 4-player always ends up being. You can't. It's harder to design 4 unique characters.
Yeah. Versus
2 where they can be they balance each other.
Yep. I think it was I think the other good one was It Takes Two. I want to play that with Jillian. But I think Brother's Tale. I think that's a
solo player that you control 2 different characters with one controller.
Oh really?
That's not a co-op.
Oh, that sucks. Okay.
It's cool though. It's a really worth it game. It's only a couple hours and it's a really cool use of the medium and input device to tell a story. It's got a unique thing to do.
No, anyways, I was just going by screenshots and it was like,
sucks to suck.
Yeah. Got him.
Anything else you want to talk about video games?
No. Well, we might hit back with video games.
I just want to say again, Mario Odyssey is the most fucking overrated 3D Mario game ever.
It's not great.
Totally okay.
It's definitely not great. It's decent. Yeah. When I was playing, I was having fun. But you know what ruined it for me is the fucking people just I can just cross the whole level without touching the ground because I know all the controls. I was like, well, that just sucked the fun out of me because I'm never going to do that. I just want to run around, just play, and just have some fun and just get to the end. And I remember I watched one YouTube video and I think it was Donkey. No offense to Donkey. I love Donkey really as a content creator. But he just did that. And I was just like, well, I don't want to play this game anymore. And I just literally gave it to my nieces and nephews. And they're like, yeah, do you want it back? I'm like, no, you guys keep it.
Yeah. It's obviously a good game, but I remember it just got 9.5s and 9s. And I'm like, this is a solid 8. This is a good game.
I think from my experience, I gave it a 7.
Okay.
I was just it wasn't 8, 9. And then it's yes, given the ability to do that and everyone does it, it's I just want to run around and just collect shit.
Yeah, I think I I'd be interested to see if you like Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 because they're more level based, not like these kind of big shitty open worlds that are just annoying to navigate through. Yeah. And I think the visual design is so splendid. The music is extraordinary.
I think it was just like it looked a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because like the worlds were comically small.
Yeah, and it's like the gravity mechanics and stuff.
Yeah,
are really
and
cool.
I think that's why like a lot of people like 360 cameras for a little bit because they made
that tiny world.
Yeah, tiny world and stuff. But all right, so back to the movie.
Back to the movie. I think we've talked about all the characters' voices.
Character voices.
Why don't we talk about some of the set pieces? What did you think of the
set pieces?
Okay, well,
yeah,
we can talk about like the Mario Kart. I love the lead up to the Mario Kart sequence. So we have like, you know, the Smash Bros scene. We've kind of talked about that too.
Yeah.
And then we get into this warehouse and they're like, okay, pick your carts, and the Mario Kart 8 music, kart selection track starts playing.
Here's the thing. I've never played Mario Kart 8 really.
Missing out, dude.
I know. But it's just I think I know. Wait, I think I
so
played
good
it.
It's lasted 15 years.
Yeah, I think I played it when it was at like the LMG LAN nights.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think we always played that.
Yeah, because it's the same one that came out on the Wii U.
Yeah.
So Wii U is what, 2011? So it's like a 10 year. Yeah, it's like a 10, 11 years. I think this is on Switch is Mario 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
But it's the same shit, just with more tracks.
Yeah, it's because I think I stopped playing Mario Karts after N64.
Sure.
No, the one on the DS. The one on the DS.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then it's just not the fact that I didn't like it. I just
they're all
kinda,
the same.
I kind of dropped out from playing Mario, and also it's like when they do that like Mario tag team, like I have to play with someone. Like I want to just race.
So I think the GameCube one was poorly advertised because you don't need. It's just you and it's two characters. It's not two players.
Yeah.
And so you just like you have the two characters you can switch between. They have the different abilities or whatever.
Yeah. I just didn't like that. I just want to race.
I hear you because it's like, oh, it's a gimmick on top of it.
Yeah.
But if you played it now, you'd actually be like, oh, this is kind of the best one.
Yeah.
I think it might be my favorite Mario Kart. Other than I think it's hard to deny, you know, the power of 8.
Yeah.
Just by the sheer breadth of content and stuff that's in it. But
I think I need to play. Wait, you know what? I'll go to New York and see maybe those like 8 tournaments. And I was just like, oh.
Well, I was sad last time I was in New York. I really wanted to go to the Brooklyn arcade. Can't remember what it is, but there's like I see them on Twitter all the time.
It's a little bit far from where you were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I wanted to make it happen. But
I think it'll be.
I know they do Melee tournaments. I bet they do Mario Kart and stuff.
I think
too.
that would have been at least because you're near Midtown, so that was like at least probably like a 30-minute train ride.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, and then that's 30 minutes, and then you have to spend like 20 minutes finding the place.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Yeah,
I probably would have Ubered, but it was also.
You know what? Just come back.
Just come back. I'll come back when you're there.
We're there. But yeah, the Mario Kart part was pretty good.
It was very Mad Max.
Yeah,
which was fun.
Literally, I was just like, oh, this just literally became Mad Max because he's like, Mario's cart gets blown up and he jumps onto another one. I'm like, that's Mad Max.
Well, and it's like, yeah, we have, you know, the Kong carts and Mario's in his cart, Peach is on her iconic bike.
Yeah.
But then all the Koopas are in like these giant monstrosities that are literally like Mad Max giant vehicles.
Because I was like, that was never in the game. But then one thing that was kind of weird is that like Mario figured out how to throw, like, oh, I kill Koopa. Koopa gives me shell. I throw shell.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you figure that out? Like, there was nothing you've done up to that point to have an indication that that's a power.
It's also like when you recontextualize what's happening in a video game in a movie, it sort of makes me think about it. Like, it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
You're taking like the corpse of an enemy you just killed.
Yeah.
And throwing it at another enemy in order to kill them too. And it's like, that's kind of fucked up, man.
Yeah. And then you literally scratched up Donkey Kong's face in a fight.
Yeah, in your cat suit.
In your cat suit that is a trap because you're like, oh, he looks so cute. Oh, he fucked Mario fucked him up.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And then, now you're like, oh, I'm gonna freeze people to death technically. And then also, oh no, here's the darkest thing. Here's the darkest part of the whole movie.
All right, give it to me.
Is when Peach, this is near the end of the movie. This is like kind of like the second to last big battle. Peach gets that spear, lights that spear on fire, throws it at the King Bomb.
Oh yeah.
And lights him. And the you can literally see the panic in the bomb guy's face. He's like, oh, I'm gonna die. And it
just cuts away.
And he goes, okay, I'm dead. And the whole thing blows up.
Yeah.
And you're like, you killed a guy.
Yeah, you
literally killed him, plus everyone around him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that part was like, ooh.
It's funny because it's so not meant to be thought of in that way, but it's when you're watching a movie, your brain is just like thinking a little bit more than when you're playing a kid's video game.
I mean, here's the thing with the video game, you're distracted because you're like, I need to survive. This one's you're just experiencing.
Yeah.
Because you're not Mario, you're not Peach, you're not Bowser.
Yeah, you're just the observer.
Yeah, you're just like,
So
you're the watcher, just going, that could be
I am the watcher.
Up. Yeah.
That's funny.
That could be fucked up.
And so the Mario Kart sequence to me was cool, but it also like didn't feel like Mario Kart, whereas the Smash Bros sequence felt like Smash Bros.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the other things, you know, they felt Mario-esque. But yeah, the kart race felt off to me, and it was like a convoy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't actually like a race. Like I thought when Cranky's like, oh, you're gonna have to face my son in the arena, I thought that was gonna be the Mario Kart race, and they'd have to like race.
Yeah.
But
it's
I
like,
don't know.
It's Melee. It's like,
it's fine.
Yeah. I do wish the Melee part had like more of the typical known Melee weapons or Smash Brother weapons, like the bat.
Yeah.
And I would like to see like, oh, maybe like they didn't just do Mario versus Donkey Kong. It would just be like two other Nintendo characters.
It'd be pretty cool, but I think they were keeping the scope small in this one, because in the next one, maybe they'll like pull it into the Spider-Verse and they'll do the full Smash Bros.
That'd
movie.
be cool. That'd be,
and then, you'll have
dope.
Samus and you have Link. And,
but yeah, just like the Mario Kart level, I've had a problem with it because it's just like it. Like I think what you said earlier in the podcast is that literally they just went to Kong Island and everyone that they got was gone except for Donkey Kong.
Yeah, so they didn't even last one sequence in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like literally, hey, we're on your team.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're not.
Yeah, like it just kind of like that's my whole problem with the whole movie. It's like okay, it just starts, it goes, and it just didn't give me a breath.
Yeah. 100%.
And it just kind of like, oh, now it's this part, and now you're back to Luigi doing this, and now you're back to Mario walking around, and now you're back to Luigi doing this, and then back to Mario. Oh, now they're Kong Island. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, but then for me, why it all works is because, you know, it cuts back to Luigi and he's walking around in the dark forest with the flashlight, and it's
That's
like the
so good.
Mario, or Luigi's Mansion music playing like do 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 do, and he's like, Mario, and you're like, oh, it's a little fan service moment.
And then he like shakes the flashlight.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, it's like you said, it gives you no time to breathe, but it also gives you no time to get bored, and it just bombards you with the fan service moments.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the fan service moments, and so I was in a constant state of mild pleasure.
Yeah, it just, to me, it's like I needed to slow down because like I was like being in cinema mode. I'm like,
oh no,
I'm like, okay, well, like they gave a little bit of actually the most interesting part is like, oh, who's Peach's parents?
Yeah, they kind of hinted that
because like she's human, she's from Mario's world.
Well, she might be from a different world.
Okay,
we don't know that.
Yeah, but it just seems like it's like I just need to know. Like I now like that if the sequel isn't about that, like about Peach's origins, it'd be kind of like fucked up.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. I don't know what they'll do with the sequel. So it kind of reminds me a bit of one of my super stupid problems. That's not a real problem.
Yeah.
But the sequence where, you know, it's baby Luigi and he's getting bullied and baby Mario comes in and saves the day.
Yeah.
I felt it and I was like, oh, this is a nice scene. But I was also pissed because in the games, baby Mario and baby Luigi, baby Mario is dropped on Yoshi's Island as a baby.
Yeah.
And so it reminded me, like, oh, well, they're just ignoring actually, especially because it was very specifically the design of like baby Mario and Luigi from the games.
I think that design is like more of a toddler Mario.
Yeah, you're right. It's not like baby, but the face, you know, it looks like looks like what the baby Mario looks like.
I understand what you're talking about, but like, you know, baby Mario and Yoshi was in diapers. That one was like he was in a little mini overalls. Actually, wait, no. Let me go back to the clothing. You know what really freaked me out?
What's that?
Is seeing Mario and Luigi without gloves.
Yeah, that's weird.
That fucking like I was just like, oh, put the gloves back on. Like,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
You just see the 5 fingers and you see the little hands. They're like, oh, no.
Yeah, it's funny. I like that their outfits are made fun of in the real world because it's like What are you wearing?
Like, why do you have plumber with white gloves?
Yeah. Oh, we have to trademark. I thought that was a good little remark.
Yeah.
I think overall the costumes work for me. I think the movie is really well animated on a technical level. Like the textures they use and the material quality was very pleasing. So it's a very colorful movie, but the lighting quality in the real world is slightly more real than in the.
It just felt like they literally went to Odyssey and they just like found that new whatever that the real world and just went like, okay, make that a little bit more like photogenic.
Well, and I don't know if like they actually changed rendering techniques or if they just chose like different materials, but in the real world, I noticed like there's lots of like reflective surfaces where there's like multicolor lights, almost like,
ray traced.
Was like kind of like ray tracing, but it's just like these like reflections and lights and processing that's like accentuates the realism of it. And then like even in the eye, I remember there's one shot of Mario's eye at the night when the water's all around. I was like, oh, that feels like realistic lighting. Yeah. Even though, he's like clearly a cartoon character.
Yeah.
But when we're in the Mushroom Kingdom, everything feels like very not monochrome, but like big color blocks.
Yeah.
And not just in like the world design, but the way it's lit.
Yeah.
And the way colors reflect off stuff. It's just like these single color. It's not refracting. It's not reflecting in the same way. Yeah. And it was a very clear distinction that I found very visually pleasing. Yeah. And like the way his clothes look, it's all cartoony, but it feels like, like a real material. Yeah, and so I think they did a really good job on the technical presentation. But I think we talked about it briefly. Yeah. The best thing in this whole movie is the score, hands down.
No, score is best. And you know what's
so fucking good?
You know what's the best song? DK Donkey Kong. No, it's just like I'm like, yeah.
I couldn't believe that they used the DK rap. I was shook.
Yeah,
because it's such a bad rap.
It's.
But yeah, no. To me, the big hits are, when they're doing all the musical cues, and some of them I was like, how are they going to do this? So in the final fight, when the star is going into question, they're going to get the star. It's going to do that.
But you know what's funny? They just based it off like okay, cool. They have the star, the super, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they were just like, they just hit the smash ball. Like that's all it is. Like, because they glow and they're like punching everyone.
That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. But they're like, it's as if they just hit the smash ball.
Yeah.
And they're like ready to do their ultimate.
I think that was a cool sequence. Like,
I totally agree. I was not super into the Brooklyn sequence before. I liked that Mario was taking damage. When Bowser was punching him in the real world, you could see he was getting bruised. His arm kind of looked dislocated or whatever. But
he just got fucked.
Yeah. But I was like, then whatever, fuck the sequence. But then when they take the star and they just start fucking shit up, it was sick.
You're like, yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool.
Because like, here's the thing too, is like what I really liked about Bowser and his army, especially in the first, like even until like near the end, they didn't feel useless. Like in the games, they felt like, oh, like this is dumb. Yeah. Like, why would you do this? But like in the movie, they actually felt threatening. Yeah. It's like, oh, if I went against that army, I would have to like really think. Because like, they have like all sorts of different levels of kind of fighters and defense and magic, and like they're really effective. They're a really good team. They work really well together. And that's how I kind of like looked at it. And at the end, you're like, oh, that goes through out the window because they're invincible.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's sort of problematic in the sense of like, why do they beat Bowser? Is it because of, a lesson they learned? Is it because they had to grow as characters? Yeah. Is it? No, it's because, they got the star.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and it's like,
if he didn't have the star,
Bowser would have kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, it kind of sucks that they couldn't write, a character arc or a journey that allows them to grow in a way that would, allow them to all work together and beat Bowser.
Yeah.
It's like they just have to, kind of get lucky and get the star. And
I mean, what I would have liked is that, Mario's full motivation is to not feel small. I would have actually liked him. Like, I mean, for a stoic arc, like that's a very part going, oh, it's not about feeling big. It's about using your abilities.
Yeah.
But they didn't use any of the abilities.
Yeah, he should have like been using power-ups and have to like decide, make an active choice to get hit and become small to beat Bowser.
Yeah, or just or even like literally becoming small, like eating that blue mushroom because that was a running joke.
Yeah.
And just beating him that way.
Because that would be a good one.
Because like Bowser is like, he's just defines strength and authority. Like that's all he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, Mario to me, he's like that character of doesn't give up. He's a winner. But he uses his wit and tact. Because when you look at a 2D Mario level, like you're not like, yes, you can jump the highest, but you have to have wits about you to get through the level. Yeah. So that's a problem. I like the sequence of fighting. It's really cool now talking about it. But also I didn't like it because it never showed what Mario is really all about.
Yeah, and it's just it felt like such a cop-out finale.
It looks cool.
It looks cool.
Like it definitely just watching like I think my favorite like visual favorite part is seeing Mario and Luigi just like going in for like the drop kick kill.
Yeah.
And smashing Bowser in the face that blows up.
Yeah, I agree. I think I enjoy it, but when you start to think about cinema. It's just they could have done so much better, and I think that's my general feeling with this overall movie. Clearly, a lot of passion and love went into making it.
Yeah,
but it could have been so much better.
I think. Yeah, so this is one thing too. The reason why I kind of had to think about it last night because I literally got home and I was like, wish I had a cigarette. I just like compounded about it. But what kind of how I kind of look at it is that because I've watched a lot more anime and Japanese media than I think the typical average person.
Than a boring person.
Culture, baby.
I watched all of Dragon Ball.
Oh no! Don't. That's just a
actually.
Waste.
I have been meaning to watch the movies because I hear the recent movies are awesome.
Dope. Yeah. Actually, no, you haven't experienced One Piece yet. Don't worry about it.
I probably never will.
Yeah, I'm watching One Piece Red right now, which is I got a bad subtitle file because sometimes I'm like that didn't make sense.
Yeah,
so I had to like rewatch it. But anyways, it's like the problem with the movie I think is because there must have been like some sort of like Japanese team dictating to the people how to make this movie because I looked at the directors and these guys are competent directors. Like I think they were on Ben 10 and all these other animated shows, and those shows have decent storylines. But like this one felt like it's so fast paced, and then it kind of reminded me that these Japanese, when you watch like a Japanese movie or some Japanese anime, it's not well paced. It's like really like bam, bam, get it done fast. I'm like that's why I felt bothered a little bit.
Yeah,
and then I was also thinking about too. I'm like, I think I brought this up. It's like these guys don't really have a backstory. You don't really know who Mario and Luigi is, except for this like stuff on the surface.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe that's why they didn't really want to build in too much of a story, because who's this movie for, really? It's like, yes,
it's for kids.
It's for kids, yeah. And these kids don't need to know Mario has a drug addiction or something like that. And, all these other little things. It's just like Mario is a guy who just wants to find his brother and just save the day or does his best.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And like Peach, yeah, there's some little interesting backstory that could be really not threatening at all. But it's like I think it's just Miyamoto just doesn't know how to develop characters. He knows how to make a great game, but he doesn't know how to create a story.
Well, yeah, I think it's always difficult to balance a bunch of different parts of what goes into a film and like balance it all and make it good. Yeah. And as soon as there's, too much involvement, like every good movie is the tension between a creative director and, a business-minded producer. And there's like a tension there that kind of pulls things out into something like bigger and better.
Yeah.
But when you make a movie like this, I think the weight goes much more on the producing like business side, and so many people get involved and have a little bit of say, and it just shrinks what the creative people that might have had a bigger vision for what they wanted to do can do.
Like to be honest, because like this is probably like Nintendo's like millionth pitch that they eventually enough like succumb to it, going, what, DreamWorks, you do, because here's the thing: this team that made the movie know how to make a movie. Yeah. Like even though Despicable Me is shit. But when you actually watch it, it's paced well.
Yeah, 1, 2, they're fine.
Yeah, Rise of Gru is fine.
3's fine.
Like they know how to make a story.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like it's good. Actually, the first Minions is really good.
Really or good?
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's not really good.
No, it's okay, relative to all the other movies, it's really good.
Yeah, I think they're all like decent. I don't think any of them are elevated to the level of greatness. Like,
first one's good.
First really good. Compared to Shrek 2.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Shrek 2 is greatness.
Yeah.
Despicable Me is good.
Yeah, so like that studio, DreamWorks, knows how to...
No, it's not DreamWorks. It's Illumination.
Is it DreamWorks Illumination?
No, it's Universal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's why the Nintendo World is at Universal's.
Oh, okay, interesting. Anyways, Illumination still knows how to like animate and craft the story.
Yeah.
Like at a basic level. This definitely did not feel like it had any of that.
Yeah, and to me, I'm not a big Illumination movie guy. Like, I don't like the Secret Life of Pets movies.
The first one was okay.
They're fine.
Yeah.
But this felt like those ones just feel so manufactured to appeal to like, dumb kids and not actually have anything important to say. They're just like, we need a quota. We have a void in our market. We need to hit this. Whereas this one felt like there was at least parts of it that are built out of passion and love.
Yeah.
Not just like, obviously this movie exists to sell tickets, sell merch, get people excited about Mario. But it felt like there was genuine passion in some levels of it. And I found that really helped sell the movie for me.
Because I think what you're trying to say is like a lot of the little things in the movie, and there's a lot of little things, saved the movie. If we only had like half or a third of it, we would both be like, this is a 3. This is a 3.
Yeah, I think if you're judging this movie on its, cinema merits alone, it's like a 3 or a 4.
Yeah, like I mean, I want to like the movie. Like, this is why I struggled so much last night. Like, first I was like, if we recorded this podcast last night, I'd be just going, fuck this movie. Why did they make it? They should just like the very first live action one is much better.
It's so bad it's good. It's like
so
a negative 8.
Yeah. And then just all these things. But now thinking about it, and now maybe I'm trying to stretch it because I'm trying to be kind of like, I'm trying to understand why they make all these decisions. Because I have to look at the movie as a business sense other than just trying to sell tickets and just pandering to the audience. It's like, why did they make that choice to be this fast paced? And then they have like these really awesome slowdown modes. Is it to accentuate that? No, it's because they're just trying to stuff as much as possible. Because you have Nintendo executives going, no, you got to include this.
Well, and the people that have the power to, call for cuts.
Yeah.
They just didn't have confidence in the story that was being told.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The story they're telling is not that good.
Yeah.
But I think that's like, you can just see.
It started off good.
It could have been good.
Yeah.
But you can just see at too many points, the story was not given the time to breathe, both during writing, but also during presentation.
Yeah. Because I was only able to breathe 3 moments, really.
Yeah. And so it's a shame, but I mean, it seems like we've gone on a negative kick.
Yeah.
Like I said, I give this like a 6. I enjoyed the entire movie.
Yeah.
And there's so yes, cinema, it's not great cinema, but it is a good time because if you like Mario stuff, if you know Mario, if you enjoyed the universe of Mario and the music of Mario, there will be something in here that will give you a great amount of joy.
Yeah, because I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I grew up on that really bad Super Mario Brothers movie, the live action one.
Fucking love that
and
movie.
Also, God, but also to add on to it, I grew up on the Super Mario Brothers TV show.
It's the Mario Brothers.
Yeah, oh, God, I only watched it because I wanted to watch Zelda.
Sure.
Yeah, but yeah, like I grew up on that stuff, and man, if I was like 8 again and I watched this movie, I'd be like, fuck yes.
Yeah, I would love this movie.
Yeah, this like movie is fucking cool.
Yep.
But you know what? This movie is going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know that. It's going to be worldwide. No, you know what? I would say it might make probably almost $2 billion.
I don't think so. I think it'll
Really?
make 1.1, 1.2.
I think it's because it's so internationally accessible because almost most people in the world, except for if you have like no access to electricity or clean water, probably know who Mario is. And then no kids will want to do it.
Animated movies just kind of have a cap. Like they can make a ton of money, but
I mean, Avatar 2 is an animated movie.
yeah, but that's not how people process it. Like let's okay, I'm gonna pause for a second just so I can pull up the all-time
Box office. I think it's like 2.5 is the most.
oh, why am I domestic? Ew. I hate that they default to domestic. Fuck, I don't care what they made in the US. I want worldwide. So almost 3 is Avatar. So 2.92. 2.92. The highest animated movie, it's a lie, is Frozen 2.
Fuck that movie.
Which is that? I mean, that's the highest grossing animated movie because there's The Lion King live action remake, which is technically an animated movie.
Is it live action?
Well, it's like realistic animals. So it's animated. So it depends on your definition.
Yeah.
I think you could argue and be like, hey, animated movies can make whatever Lion King makes, which is 1.6 billion.
Yeah.
But to me, it sort of breaks the rules a little bit. It's not like, animation as a genre.
Yeah.
It's cinema as a genre using the tool of animation to tell like a live action story.
Have you seen that?
I turned it off after 10 minutes. It
okay,
sucked.
cool. Yeah.
But Frozen 2 to me is the top of the that's animation.
Yeah.
And
have you seen Frozen 2?
I did. I liked it fine.
I have not.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I think the first one and the second one are they're fine. I like animation a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty picky, and I thought they're both fine. Like obviously, Let It Go was played too much, but
yeah, I really used to like. I actually like Untangled the most.
I like Untangled.
Out of all the recent Disney anime.
I like Moana.
I don't like Moana.
Zootopia,
anymore.
dude.
Zootopia.
Nick, whatever is so hot. Or the fox. I'm just
I was like,
what the fuck?
No, I like the bunny.
Judy Hopps.
Judy Hopps. Oh,
that's actually a sick movie.
No. Oh shit. No, I was gonna say.
But
Zootopia is great. But yeah, I think this movie will probably. Yeah, I think this movie could possibly beat
Frozen 2.
Frozen 2, because here's the thing: is those numbers including just ticket sales?
That's just box office. So that's just like what they sell on tickets.
Maybe not for box offices, but I think for like Blu-rays, merchandise, and all that stuff.
Well, I mean,
think you could win.
that Frozen merchandise makes moves, man.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just the fact that this is Mario.
But it would be hard to quantify what the movie does versus what just game does, because Frozen was like a nothing IP. It's not a real thing until it existed.
Isn't it?
I think it's based on folklore, or maybe, but they weren't selling Elsa toys before Frozen, whereas Mario toys have been sold since the 80s.
To me, I think it's just the accessible and recognizability of this character.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we went to the movie yesterday and it came out on a Wednesday. And the movie theater was like decently packed.
Yeah, I think I think it'll crack a bill.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that'll kill it is that people aren't going to go rewatch it. Whereas like the Frozen movies got rewatched a ton.
Yeah.
And so that helps extend the life.
Yeah. I'm just thinking because you're going to actually, no, I do agree.
And I think the Frozen 2 was pre-COVID, and I don't think people are fully back to the theaters for movies like Mario, where it's like, yeah, it's probably good, but I'll just watch it when it's on streaming. I think that's going to be like that. To me,
I'm actually,
if people came to me and were like, should I go to the theater to watch Mario? I'd be like, go watch D&D, please.
Yeah.
But no, you can watch Mario at home.
Yeah, I actually was quite surprised that they didn't put this movie in 3D.
Yeah, it seemed to me like a pretty easy bet for 3D, but there was no tickets available in 3D, hey?
Yeah, it was like, there's not 3D. So it was just like, it was weird because those moments in the movie, especially the second to last, when it was Donkey Kong and Mario
fucking shit up, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I have a problem with that scene.
Oh?
If I literally, there's one point going, am I watching this in 2 times? What was in my M&Ms? Yeah. Literally, it was just boom, boom, boom. I'm like, I can't, I'm trying to follow Mario, and then Donkey Kong's doing some cool things, and then Mario's like, what's going on? It felt like I was watching a 2-player Mario game going at once with so much shit.
Too much just to watch.
Yeah, I was just like,
I feel like I missed a fuck ton of it.
I need to rewatch that part. Or I'm not going to rewatch it, but I'm just like, it just felt like you have to go by frame by frame.
It was interesting leaving the theater because Zoe I think was the most pumped about the movie, and fair enough.
Yeah.
And she said it's a movie I'll probably put on as a comfort watch and watch it a bunch. And I was like, fair.
Yeah.
I feel like I will eventually rewatch this movie. It'll be a great I'm cleaning my house. I want something in the background.
Yeah.
I'll kind of pop in once in a while. This happens.
I actually do feel like I kind of regret not seeing it with you is great. But I felt like I should have invited my nieces and nephews to it because I think they would have fucking just like loved it and got lost.
Yeah, I think young kids are gonna love this movie because it's just so stimulating.
So I mean, I think for me, box office success, I would agree with you. Probably not gonna be as strong as Frozen and rewatching because musicals usually do better. But I think what's gonna happen is overall sales, like not just like specific movie merchandise will sell. But also, I think the Blu-rays or it being downloaded or rented or bought digitally is gonna just like completely blow it.
When I'm sure Mario game sales overnight are like the same way that The Last of Us boosted. Last of Us 1 and 2.
Yeah,
it's like I left the theater and like I want to play Mario Galaxy again, and I was like, okay, I gotta get the Wii hooked up. Yeah. Like I'm gonna play some Mario Galaxy, bro.
You know what's funny? Like out of the 3 movies that we've kind of like really in depth reviewed.
Yep.
So that will let's three pieces of media is Last of Us, Dungeons and Dragons, in this movie. And
we're nerds.
They're all nerds, but they're all technically, even including D&D, video game adaptations.
Yeah, I mean D&D is. I know what you're saying. Like, it has been adapted into video games, so like
it is a video game too.
But it's a tabletop game. Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, those are. The hot new comic book movie. It's like video games currently. Although I still think video game movies struggle. Like we still haven't cracked the code. We've cracked the code with video game TV shows. Like we've had a lot of good video game TV shows.
What else is the one?
Cyberpunk, Castlevania.
I mean,
Last of Us.
I will argue that
Arcane.
Cyberpunk is different.
It's still like a cyberpunk game.
It is, yeah. But I mean, like, they didn't really do the same tropes as a video game. It's same universe, and then they're like, okay, you can do whatever you want.
I don't know. Anyways. But I think, like, that's fine, and you can do that. But I think my point is we still haven't gotten, like, 9 out of 10 video game movies. Like, the best one is, I think, still the first Sonic movie. I like that movie.
No, not
in a bad way.
I really loved Sonic 1.
Yeah.
Sonic 2 was a bit too campy.
I agree. It was too childish.
Yeah, too childish. I did feel sad it was Jim Carrey's last movie.
For now, I'm sure he'll
he's gonna spend all his money on paint and he'll be like, fuck, I need to. Have you seen him paint?
No.
Oh, watch a video, see him paint, and then realize that each those paint buckets that he has just thrown on a canvas, I think someone said is like $2,000 a pop. And he's literally just like, he opened it and just like chucks it on, and you see like after like 4 chucks, it's empty. And I remember seeing someone in the comments going, "Yeah, I'm a painter. One of those buckets can last me for like maybe like a couple of years." And I was like, "Holy!" But anyways, Sonic 1 is. I would give Sonic 1 like 8.5.
Your numbers are crazy.
Yeah, I liked it. It was great.
I give it, I think, a 6.6, a 6.7.
Really?
And that's high. Like, to me,
that's fair. You have a more critical.
5 is like the pass for good. Yeah. 6 is like, I'd say, 6 is like good. No, 7 is good. 8's great. 9 is excellent. 10 is perfect. And so like 5 through 7 is kind of like a, sort of. But 6 is like, I liked it.
Yeah, give me what's a 10 for you.
I mean, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, or Everything Everywhere All at Once, or Blade Runner 2049. Those are like my 3 10s.
Oh, yeah. I feel bad because I fell asleep during Blade Runner.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, to be fair, I was on a plane, so that was.
And that's a movie. There's a lot of movies that I love.
Yeah.
That I'm like, if you don't like this movie, we're not gonna be friends. That's one where I'm like, I can understand why people don't connect with it, but that is a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. Anyways. So, okay, that's a Super Mario Brothers movie with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I would segue to 2 other ones that, coming up that I think we're both equally excited about.
Barbie!
Oh, no, 3. Barbie!
I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah, the new trailer looked fucking awesome.
When it gave me a lot more context to what's happening in the world, and I was like, okay, so there's Barbie world, not Barbie world.
I just need to know what is going on, because it's like, okay, it's Barbie living in a fantasy, and then what's gonna happen? Like, is she like? There's a sign going to the real world.
Yeah,
but it's like, okay, is this like a Lego kind of like mentality where it's like, oh, they're not watching us, and then we can go out there?
Yeah. Or no, or like the fact that they're being played with. Like, are all those Barbies, a kid's toy being played with? I don't think so, but maybe. But I feel like there's enough mystery in this world, and I just think the movie looks funny as fuck.
It's self-aware.
Like, the jokes are like actually funny. Like, hi Barbie, hi Barbie, hi Barbie, hi Ken, hi Barbie, hi Ken.
Hey Ken.
Hey Ken. Yeah, like I'm gonna beat you off. I'm gonna beat you off so hard.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what's so funny? When I was in Venice Beach last year, June, and they had signs everywhere going, "Oh, this location will be closed for filming."
Yeah.
The next day, when I was leaving, I saw on Twitter, it's like, "Oh, the filming, like the movie." At Venice Beach, I was like, oh, and I was already at Pasadena, and I was actually half tempted to drive back
just to go see.
Just like, I want to see Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie, and it's just like hilarious. Like it's gonna be good, and it's a musical too.
Yeah, I like. There's still so many mysteries that remain in that movie, but I'm very excited.
Yeah. I want to know. It's funny how oh shit, Will Ferrell, is in that movie too, and it's like, oh, it's another like toy movie he's also in.
Yep.
So
we'll see if it's related.
Yeah.
The other movies, okay, I'm gonna guess the other two you want to talk about.
I already know.
TMNT.
Yes.
And Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. No, I know. Oh, I guess maybe one more.
4 movies.
4 movies is like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think for me, I'm actually more excited for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles than Spider-Verse.
It must hurt to be so wrong. But
no, why? No,
I'm very excited about TMNT. It looks like something different and new.
Yeah.
I think so many TMNT movies and shows have struggled to visually identify the characters, and it's just like, if you don't know the colors, you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
And so I like that they've made it very clear. I love that they're teenagers.
Yeah. No, I just love how. Because, like, okay, maybe this is the reason why. Because I already know that Spider-Man is going to be really good. So I'm less excited for it because of like my expectations already pretty high.
Yeah.
But I grew up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and have been progressively being disappointed.
Oh yeah,
by everything that has come out.
Honestly, like if you really look at it, there's never been like a great TMNT thing.
No, except for like maybe the 90s
books.
TV show was decent. It wasn't
by
great.
Today's standards, it's hard to watch.
No, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, and it's like no 90s shows hold up to the way we watch content now.
Yeah,
like as a Saturday morning thing, it was fine. Yeah, but
it just watched all these things.
I made someone so mad with what I just said.
Huh?
I just made someone so mad. I can tell. Yeah,
good. Yeah, because it's like the Michael Bay movies. I tried to watch the second one the other day, and I'm like, man, this is bad. Yeah. Like not even like it's good for kids. No, this is like a bad movie.
Because the first one is like
it's okay.
I would give it like
it's
like
a 4.
I give it like a 5. I wasn't like
4.
mad it was on. There was enough like flashy shit.
Yeah, it just to me just like you just felt like it felt really flat.
Yeah, they didn't really. It was clear that they had a property they wanted to do something with rather than a story they wanted to tell.
They just want it literally just the verb is being invented.
Yeah.
They Michael Bay'd it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of mixed things on like the recent Netflix era of cartoons where like everyone's really visually distinct. Like Red One's Michelangelo?
No, that's Raph.
Raphael, yeah. He's like giant. He's huge.
Yeah, like because I have watched it. I watched the first 4 episodes, and it's so like they just want to be like edgy and like make it seem like they have like a cyberpunk aesthetic to it.
Okay,
not like truly, but it's like everyone's like, yeah, let's go, man. Yep, I don't know. Like it feels like everything's a TikTok, which is, I guess, like maybe this is the old man in me, like, oh, you shouldn't do that, but it just didn't feel like a really coherent story.
Fair.
Yeah, but this one, it just felt, I don't know, something so warm about this movie.
I love the style. And I mean, like, thank you Into the Spider-Verse for allowing, animated movies to have distinct looks.
Yeah.
And clearly, you can obviously see, the inspirations that the new TMNT takes from Into the Spider-Verse style. But it has its own, like, little weird look. Like, when you see the city shot, there's, like, weird scribbles on the roads and stuff.
It
and like,
reminds
cool.
me, it reminds me like like maybe you haven't seen this as much. Like you see like the artists on the street corners in New York.
Yeah,
like they will sketch like
that.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, and I don't know. You just see like the beginning, the music choice was really good, and you just like it just reminded me of my childhood with like all this like neighborhood kids. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna like just like fuck things up because it's just stupid. And now it's just like they have phones. Like that's the only real difference. Like it felt so rooted that this is like my childhood, which I would love to watch and bring my nieces and nephews. I'm like, this is how I used to grow up.
Yeah.
And just like going into shit. Like I remember this is the worst thing I think I can really admit. But it's past 12 years, the statute of limitations. Literally, me and a couple of my friends, we rolled a tire onto the road and just see what happens. And he just like we ran and hid, and you just see like a car just went just like slammed on the brakes and about to hit, and then you can see the guy going, "Who did this?" Well, and we're like, "Oh." So like just like moments of that just like reminded me. It gave me like that Ratatouille moment going, "Oh, yeah,
that's fair." Yeah, I'm excited about that. And then Into the Spider-Verse, we don't have to talk about it. It's gonna be the fucking best movie ever.
Do you want me to tell you what my prediction is on it?
No, I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
I don't honestly. I didn't really want to watch the trailer. I was forced into it because I was at the theater.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones ever since the first movie ended, I had decided I would watch any Into the Spider-Verse thing they ever do.
Yeah.
And that now it's coming, so I'm excited.
It looks really good. I'm excited. I'm kind of like hoping they find some new tricks to it.
Yeah, I think that's the danger.
Yeah.
The first one is so incredibly creative.
It's definitely a 9.5 for me.
Oh, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be hard to top it.
Yeah, because like,
and even if it's an 8, it'll feel like a disappointment.
Yeah.
And so then people will have a bad reaction to it, but I hope it's, a solid 9. But
yeah, because it's like, to me, like, those things that you find out after, like you notice a little bit at the beginning, because that movie is such like a study. Like that's the thing about it. The movie, you can study that movie and understand like really cool animation foundations and storytelling foundations from it. And then if you like rewatch it again, you can see all these like little like creative things that really bring the movie to life. It's like, oh, Miles is undercranked for the first third,
and then he becomes
thirds.
a competent Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then he's like at the proper frame rate. It's like things like that. You're like, you kind of feel it.
Yeah.
And at the end movie, and now you understand. You're like, oh yeah, definitely, that's amazing. But it's like, okay, can they do that trick again? No, I don't think so.
I think they'll do other tricks. Like, I mean, this is not at all an equivalent example, but it's like, it's clever, and you can see they're really thinking.
Yeah.
When the mom snaps in the trailer,
Yeah.
it's a little Puerto Rico flag.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Because like when you watch the trailer, you're just like, oh yeah, it's just like a little exclamation thing, but it's like, oh, there is those little details.
Yeah.
So I have faith they will match. I think the story is going to be, because like when you think about the story of the first one, there's not like an in-depth plot.
No.
It's just great characters with incredible animation, with these great moments. But I think they have like places to take the plot.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the plot, actually, what it was, the plot really, its plot was more like just about character development.
Well, it's like Wilson Fisk is trying to bring back his family, and they have to stop him. And so, Spider-Man meets Spider-Man meets Spider-Man meets Spider-Man meets Spider-Man, and then they fight, villains.
Well, I mean, you can see like all Spider-Man, I guess maybe 2 Spider-Mans have like character arcs.
Yeah.
But then you also see like the other side of like Wilson's Fisk, right? Is have like obsession of family, can destroy everything, and how, these group of Spider-Men found family and they kind of help Miles become who he's supposed to be.
Well, even like how Peter Parker in this, like, the old man Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He, he's faced a lot of loss, but he learns to, accept love again.
Yeah. And then, well, I'm not going to spoil the whoever hasn't seen the trailer or whatever, but it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. I like, that's the reason, like, when I say I'm like excited and not excited for this movie, it's because my expectations are already like quite high.
Yeah.
And just like, I'm looking forward to watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I've never met anyone. I mean, I'm going to say this, but now I'm sure I will. But I haven't met anyone who watched the first Into the Spider-Verse and didn't at least very much like it.
Yeah, no, I think even Jillian, when she watched it, and she doesn't watch movies with me that often, but I think because I didn't watch it, I did watch it in theaters.
Okay.
But I think I watched it by myself. Yeah, I'll go double check that.
Yeah, whatever.
But it's like, I remember watching, she watched it with me, and she was like, wow, like that was
so
really good. And I think for me, my favorite, and I think I still had it as a background for a long time, is when Miles is inverted, like going down.
Oh, down, yeah, but it's up.
But it's up, yeah. I think that was like my screensaver for like
for
long time.
So what's the last movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure.
So I said this to you in the movie theater, and I'll repeat this for everyone who's listening: is that James Gunn? So this is James Gunn's last Marvel movie.
Yep.
Because now he is head honcho. He's the Kevin Feige for DC.
Hell yeah.
Which is going to be great.
We'll see. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have high expectations.
I do too. Well, I mean, they can only go up.
They can. Well, I mean, it's hard because like I will ignore all the other movies and then just be like, has to be better than Suicide Squad 2.
But I mean, yeah. But I mean, he made Suicide Squad 2, so
yeah. So I mean, who knows?
That's the best DC movie.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I'm not counting, Dark Knight, but I'm not like Suicide Squad.
Well, I mean, I don't count those movies.
That's not part of the DC.
That's not really they're fantastic, perfect movies to me. But Guardians of the Galaxy. So the first one, it was about relationship with his mother and how he has to come to terms that he ran away. 2 is about who his dad is, and does it mean that are you biologically tied to the father or the person who actually raised you? It's great, 2 great stories. Second one was kind of but I think they really found its stride near the end.
Did you watch the holiday special?
No.
It was pretty good.
Is it good?
It was pretty good.
Well, here's the thing. I wanted to, and then Christmas passed. I'm like, do I want to watch a holiday special when it's not Christmas?
Yeah, it's kind of tough because I think there's like little bits that you'll appreciate, but maybe not. I don't really remember. I just remember enjoying it.
Yeah, because I wanted to watch that Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, but
it's actually good. But the ending kills it. They fuck up the ending.
But this one now, it's about self.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited for because I'm in kind of like, I mean, everyone is, but for me, I'm motivated to do all these big life changes because I need to get out of my. Well, I mean, I'm usually out of my comfort zone, but this one is the biggest departure out of my comfort zone. So I'm really looking forward to this movie. I hope it's good.
I think it will.
But yeah, it's Guardians of the Galaxy is a movie that I always go in with low expectations, and it usually come up on top or at least meets it.
Yeah. Well, I think the first Guardians, I don't know anyone who had expectations for it because it was like, oh yeah, a bunch of random characters no one really knows.
I was sick of Marvel.
100%.
Yeah.
That was the breath of fresh air that like kind of revitalized interest in the franchise and gave them the push towards, Infinity War and Endgame that they needed.
Yeah.
The second one I like, but it's not nearly as good. I think part of it was that we knew what to expect.
Yeah.
And there wasn't as many surprises. But there's some great moments.
Yeah.
Like I really like it's so funny because in the first movie, I don't like Yondu at all. In the second movie, Yondu's like the fucking best.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the first one, like Yondu, you're like, oh, he's kind of a dick, but he has like redeeming moments.
Yeah.
And then also there's a part where you see him fuck everyone up. And you're like,
this
guy.
Sweet.
This guy, like, this guy fucks.
It's pretty sick. Yeah, this dude fucks. Yeah, and so the second movie I like, but it's the first one's just so funny, so tight. And I think the third one could be really good, but I'm trying to just, keep my expectations reasonable.
Yeah, because I mean, James Gunn, like, I've enjoyed a lot of his stuff. I haven't enjoyed his horror stuff because I just don't like horror.
Sure.
Like Slither kind of freaks me out.
Not my thing.
We should really get once we can figure out the remote thing, we should get Sarah on here.
It'll be easier too when there's 2 of us.
Yeah.
One spot.
We should get Cassie on too.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah. But yeah, I think third one's gonna be great. And yeah, I think that's all I really want to say about that one.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited for Rocket stuff.
Like the backstory for Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do a cool stuff there. And it's just like characters I really love so much.
I really don't care about Mantis.
I like Mantis. She's definitely like the add-in one.
She is the shit, what's that guy's name? Batista's character.
Drax?
She is like the funny add-on to Drax's character because they're so similar in a way.
Yeah, they both
types.
take things so literally.
Yeah, and they also kind of complement each other, and they kind of rile each other up.
Yeah. It's funny. They're the main characters in the holiday special.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. I will watch it.
It's worth it. It's like 40 minutes. I know it's not Christmas, but
it's just so hard to watch stuff when it's Christmas.
Got Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon. I like Kevin Bacon.
But you know what doesn't have Kevin Bacon?
What?
This segue to our exit.
No, actually, no. I want to talk one more thing.
Okay.
One more thing. So maybe we'll talk about this in the longer podcast. But
the longer podcast. This one's already 2 hours.
It's already 2 hours?
Yeah.
Shit, sorry, everybody. But last thing is, so I watched Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh God,
Town. Yeah. When was the last time you've seen it?
I don't know, a couple years ago.
So do you think that
not like that movie? It kind of sucks.
Yes, it does definitely has problems in the movie. Is it racist?
I mean, yes. You tell me, man.
It's not.
You don't think so?
It's not really that racist. Because here's the thing. It's like, you think Kurt Russell's like Jack Burton's character is racist? No, not really. When you actually watch it, it's like literally a guy just going, what's going on? With a whole movie. And also, when you think about it, you're like, yeah, a lot of weird shit's going on.
Yeah.
I'd be probably the same way.
Well, and if I remember right, like there's like the guy who should be the main character, like the kind of like martial artist, better looking, well, not better looking, but like the like clean cut Asian dude, right? And he gets killed right away, or
no, he's fine.
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah, he's trying to like save like his would be bride.
Yeah.
And he's just there. Here's the thing: is like Kurt Russell, he barely fights.
Yeah,
like he's like in there, like maybe like one or two fights. Not too sure why that was a choice.
Because it's interesting to have like like the rough and gruff trucker guy.
Yeah.
And the main character.
And he barely fights. Like everyone's like, yeah, it's all about this guy. It really isn't. He's just like the comic relief and just kind of the guy who kind of nudges the story forward. Yes. And it's more like, yeah, sure. Like there's some things that in Chinese culture, maybe they kind of like poke fun about it, but they're kind of respectful a little bit. Cause it's like, they don't go, haha, he's so stupid. And like that accent. No, there's some Chinese guys who are speaking very fluent English, or some guys even trying to pull off a New Yorker accent or stuff. And it's kind of funny. Yeah. But it's like, I'm like, I don't feel offended about this movie at all.
Okay, well, that's good.
And it's just kind of ridiculous because you're like, what's this? Like, what's that? So I'm actually like excited because there's a potential talk for a sequel. Because I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to know. There's more stuff I want to hear. I would just say, you know what? If you have a free like half an hour to an hour, just like watch it a little bit and just like come up with some thoughts and just like, is it racist? It's more ridiculous.
I make no promises. I don't have any desire to rewatch Little Trouble in Little China. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
I don't hate the movie. I just feel like it's one of those ones that was probably better in the 80s and people watch. I don't know. It's just so like
I had to like pause it moments going, Jillian, is this racist? She's like, no, not really. Huh. And then just kept watching. Even my dad was like, this is racist. He's like, not really. Like, I don't feel offended.
I'm sure many articles have been written online about how it's racist. But that's just how things are.
This is for me being half Chinese. I'm like, I just like, I don't understand. Like, I've never understood the lore or the like, is this real Chinese stuff? I don't think so. But hey, you know what? There was like, I think the weirdest part was like, there was like a shootout with guns in the alleyway, and then they switched to knives.
Yeah, I remember that. What?
They were like, just keep using guns.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah. But anyways, I just wanted to like bring that up because it was weird.
Very random.
Yeah. So, let's wing it.
Yeah, let's wing it.
But yeah.
And if you want to wing stuff, you can email us at letswingit@gmail.com.
Let's wing it 22.
22, that's right.
Yeah,
and
22@gmail.com.
Our social handle is Let's Wing It Pod on Twitter,
Instagram, and also if you want to support us, go to patreon.com/Let's Wing It.
Yes.
Become a drumette.
Yes.
It costs $5 and you get exclusive warm-ups. Exclusive. Well, I might post
world premiere.
I might post like once we have the third warm-up, I will post the first one going, this is what's there.
Okay.
And just to kind of like, just try to get interest. Because we use the funds, or we haven't used the funds at all, but we will be using the funds to like bring David to New York, or we go to Japan one day and record a podcast there. Or
be sick.
Yeah, something. Cool. All right.
Okay,
bye.